ladies and gentlemen, now we are moving along to the next session. Is Q&A session. Now we still have 5 speakers because Prof. Chuang Pan cannot join in this session. If anyone have question for her, please take note and we will deliver to her and we will share to our social media later. We want to address period of time for the quick Q&A session. Please, I'd like to invite all the audience to give 3 questions. Please on your video and audio, then say hello or raise hand through your Zoom reaction to indicate your interest. So I or Miss Indy will find you. I ask for audience to state your name and institution first, and then give us 1 or 2 sentences to help us understand the questions. So let's get right into it with our first question for the speakers. Please, our audience. Anyone? And also if you would like to a specific speaker to answer the question, please mention the speaker name first, then the questions. Anyone will ask?
Okay, Miss Dewi.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Dewi.
Okay.
Could you
Yeah.
hear my voice?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Clear.
Yes. Yes.
Is,
Yes.
is it your?
Indeed. Yeah. Because it's a very interesting topic for today. So, my background is immunology and molecular. So, I would like to ask to Dr. Rohima if it is possible.
Dr. Rohima. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yes, please, Miss Indy.
Dr. Rohima, could you hear my voice, Doctor?
Yes, I am.
Yes,
I have to turn off my camera.
Yeah, I'm sorry because of the short time for your presentation, but it is quite interesting presentation from you. We know that the year 2021 is predicted to be a defining year to the end of the SARS-CoV-2 pandemic outbreak. However, even if the vaccination program has been implemented, it is possible that the world will not be completely free from infection with the SARS-CoV-2 virus, I guess, something like that. And in choosing the platform for the COVID-19 vaccine to be used for the mass vaccination, of course, the government should pay attention to the result of the clinical tests carried out on each of the country for the population itself. So maybe Dr. Rohima, I'm sure that you ever heard about the personalized vaccine aspect that we should consider for each of the country, personalized vaccine. So we have to know each of the country what kind of the maybe protein or viral vector or maybe any other component from the virus that we have to use. So what do you think about the personalized vaccine, doctor? Because we know that we have a lot of vaccine platform. Yes, you see from the Sinovac and many other countries in UK, Britain, and some other country that have been developed, and we truly have many cooperation too in Indonesia with another country to develop our vaccine program. So what do you think about the personalized vaccine, doctor, to this COVID-19 pandemic?
Okay.
For the personalized vaccine.
Okay, please.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Please, Dr. Rohima, to answer.
Okay, can I continue? Okay, personalized vaccine. It is okay for vaccine. Personalized, it means that it is individually arise in the specific individuals, right? So for this one, if we say vaccine, so whatever goes inside the body, we want to evoke the immune system. So for personalized, it means that we take out, we take out their immune cells. For example, we take out dendritic cells. Okay, we put into the petri dish and then we expose to the antigen or SARS-CoV antigen. So it means that we prepare the dendritic cells to be recognized the SARS-CoV antigen. So when it is recognized and activated, so that is what we call personalized vaccine. So when we put that into the individual for the second exposure, it's just like, oh, I already seen this pathogen. So it's just induce the adaptive immune response. So for the personalized vaccine, it is expensive and not many people afford to have that. So I don't have other comment. That is expensive because that is individualized. If we don't have that, because we are Asian countries, I'm not sure how what is the open-minded, or what we call the acceptance of this kind of vaccine, because we are still waiting for the effective vaccine. So now the mRNA vaccine is already approved, and it will be massively what we call massively dikilangkan. What is the word? So yes, for the usage, right? So that I think that that is my answers for the personalized vaccine. So I think that there's a lot of question just now, right? On the completely free of the SARS-CoV or result clinical test, something like that. Do you want me to respond to that as well?
Yes, thank
Hello?
you very much. Yes, thank you
Okay.
very much.
For the either we are completely free of SARS-CoV or not, I don't think so, because this virus, it has the highly mutation, especially on the spike protein.
Okay. Yes. So it
Okay,
will be
Miss Cindy.
need more time to eliminate the SARS-CoV-2. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Rohima.
Thank you, Miss Cindy, and
Okay,
thank
no worries,
you,
no worries.
Dr. Rohima. Okay, please. I think we will have one questions.
Yes, Miss Dewi.
Okay, who's speaking?
Yes, I'm Ade Danova.
Okay. Please,
Okay.
Mas Ade.
Okay. Uh, uh, oh. Okay, I have one question for Rohima. Actually, my background is from chemistry, so I just wonder because you talk about the genus particle. So I wonder how can this particle can deliver drug, or how is mechanism, I think, because I just wonder, and then I just know about this particle that you present.
Okay,
Okay, thank
all right.
you.
Okay, thank you, Adi Danova. Okay, for Janus particle, I already attached the what you call reference in my slide. So we have the collaboration with Tohoku University with the Prof. Yabu Hiroshi. So Janus, the name is quite weird. I also firstly heard about this. So Janus, it means that it has two characteristics on the surface of the particle. So I mentioned just now we have the different characteristics, right? One particle, maybe there are metal based, but for this Janus particle, they have two different types. So the half of the non-particle, they exhibit like metal particles, and then another half is has another characteristic. So you imagine only in one small particle, they have the different characteristics. So it means that if we want to conjugate with the antibody, so we can do a lot of different things on this one single particle. So that is the what we call novelty of the research. That's why when I applied for the Asian University Network funding, it took us only 2 weeks to do the writing, etc. Then after 1 month, we knew that it is already accepted. So that is the novelty of the research. I'm not sure how far this one for COVID-19 diagnostic, etc. But I believe with the technology by the Japanese researcher, inshallah, God willing, we can do better for the diagnostic. Inshallah. That's all. That's all, Adi. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rohima, that you
No
explained.
worries. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Thank you very much. Oh, we got one questions. Okay, is this from, yeah, the questions for Prof. Purwiatno. Hello, Prof. There's a question for you.
Okay.
Prof. Purwiatno, what
Yes.
the practical solution for the government in the developed country can do to overcome the food crisis during pandemic, Prof?
Yes. I think, thank you very much for the question. I I think in the short term, initiative to encourage, for example, development of home gardening and then community gardening, trying to utilizing the existing resources that are currently not optimally used. I think this is a very important one. But again, this is, I think, is very short term. And but as you mentioned before, I think that practically can be done. And especially at the rural area, I think people would like to, the government, what do you call it, regional government, for example, regional government can encourage that, can have a special program to initiate the community movement gardening, and also identifying at the same time identifying the potential local resources that can be developed further. I think that's a very important one. Another thing I think in a very short term and practical way to do is trying to mobilize the local and wisdom and also culture of the people, especially related with the culture of self-help or help each other. I think gotong royong. I think that's the things that can be done in the future, I think. And hello?
Okay. Yeah, hello.
Hello? Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof.
Okay.
You will add something.
I just want to mention.
Okay, please.
I thought my connection is lost. Yeah. Another thing is that trying to make sure that the food supply chain remain functioning. This is very important. Not only for the farmer who are producing food, but also for the consumer at the other end, because the consumer really needs food, and the farmer needs to sell their product. So keeping the food supply chain remain function well, I think that's a priority that need to be done, need to be considered by any government, especially regional government. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. The next question, please. Anyone? No? Oh, I just remind from the committee, sorry for the inconvenience first. And now okay. We're getting too close to the end of our time together in this plenary session. Okay, before we end this session, I'd like to conclude our session. Please, Miss Indy, give your conclusion first.
Yep. Thank you very much, Ms. Devi. I will make conclusion for the first plenary from the Prof. Mark Eason, that the crisis present an opportunity for the economic and environmental in the world, and how the international cooperation can create as a tool of influence from other countries. And from the second speaker, Professor Duang Put, she said about the smart medical supply system to balance the supply and demand. How can it be transparent, centralized database with a matching system, so we will not lacking from the supply, especially for the medical supply. And the third one, Mr. Glani, is about the potential energy resource in Indonesia, especially in the North Sulawesi, about the geothermal, solar power, and power flow as a new Indonesian perspective that can be influenced as a step forward of energy innovation. That's the first conclusion for the plenary session. Okay, Ms. Devi, you can make conclusion for your session.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Indy, for the first conclusion, and I will deliver about the second conclusion. Having at this point in Prof. Mustari's speech, I'd like to address two main points as follow. We already see that the post-COVID-19 face a serious challenge, in particular education sector. The education institution have to recognize the profound social, political, economic, and cultural implication, and also the Pancasila values in terms of particular in Indonesian context. This is the rise of a new approach in education institution to survive in this new environment. And from Prof. Dr. Purwiyatno, we have listened about the lesson learned from the post-COVID-19 and address about the reinventing the food system and food security through sustainable food system for the future by considering affordability, resiliency, biodiversity, health and welfare, inclusiveness, and maintaining environmental sustainability. And for Dr. Rohima, until available and we found safe and effective vaccine, the future research can conduct to the ongoing progress of the candidate vaccine through preclinical and clinical studies, and also strengthen the vaccine development using a pandemic paradigm with the overlapping phase to shorten the development time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, now on behalf, now we move to the end of our session. On behalf of the AAC committee, we would like to say thank you for all keynote speakers, Prof. Dr. Mark Pearson, Prof. Dr. Duangpan Kritachan Singkarin, Mr. Klani, Prof. Mustari Mustafa, Prof. Purwiyatno, and Dr. Rohima for addressing these interesting topics. For all participants, thank you very much for your participation in this session. Now, we would like to take a picture together with the all speakers and the audience. Please, everyone, to turn on the video. I will guide.